You make me co-host?
Yes, I did.
Let me know.
For,
You need me to come back down?
yeah,
These are from Marco.
We're scheduling on
406. Thank you.
July 27th, which is next Wednesday.
All right. George Palomos.
Like, you know how when you did you see the video of this? The girl that was
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Thompson?
Oh, I'm sorry. Just responding to a phone call. I'm sorry.
Okay. There's a Gabriel Nieto waiting to get in. Does anybody know who that is?
He works at our office, Alma.
Oh, okay, alrighty. And then I have Cuauhtemoc Juarez. Anybody know who that is? Nope. Let me see what he wants. Cuauhtemoc Juarez, that's what it says. I'm about to let him in. Let me see who he is. Mr. Juarez, Cuauhtemoc Juarez. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are the interpreter?
Yes, I am the interpreter.
Okay. I was like, I don't know who that is, but now that I saw you. Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's start with for the defense. Any agreed announcements so we can take defendants off the docket?
Your Honor, if I may, from the Webb County Jail.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We have just a couple, sir. I wanted to run by y'all. It's not sure if Alma already commented from the 49th. You might have already advised, but just to be thorough, sir. Almendares Juventino Jr. reset from the 49th. Lugo Alan, there's no writ. It's a federal. Garcia Sergio, also for the 49th, he was released. From the 406, everything's good to go. And just from the 341st, Martinez Alberto, he's no longer in custody. That's all for our end, Your Honor.
Okay, I have some of those already taken off, but you know, if I call the case, just remind me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, though.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me start taking announcements. Let me start with the docket on the 49th. Defense attorneys that have cases on the 49th, if you had agreed announcements with the district attorney's office and the client does not have to be brought out, I'll hear from you now.
Judge?
Yes, Mr. Trevino?
Yes, this is Armando Trevino. I have 3 cases. I'm supposed to have a plea. I don't think I have the fingerprints because I was out last week. All my staff had COVID
Hey,
last week.
just tell me how much time you need.
Your Honor, if I may, Marco, with the 406, the ones for Ramiro Izaguirre, the fingerprints were already done, Your Honor. So we're
Okay.
good for the plea.
All right, then we're good on that one.
Mr. Trevino, your client needs to come and get fingerprinted here. Oh, your client's in jail.
Yes,
But they do the fingerprints there?
that
So-
was supposed to happen last week, but my staff had COVID.
And what does their staff have to do with him getting fingerprinted? All you have to do is send the paperwork over there.
Well, they couldn't go. They
You can email it to them.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
let's go with
Mr.
this. Alma, so does he have a plea that's not going on the 49th docket?
Who's your client, Mr. Trevino?
Jose Luis Arevalo.
I mean, Mr. Judge, we've been with Mr. Arevalo for almost a year, taking a plea.
And he's in custody?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah, he's been in custody now for 81 days, but before that,
On page 5?
yeah.
So what are we gonna do with this?
Well, if he doesn't have the plea ready, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
On July 28th.
Hello,
That's
sir.
fine. I'll get it fingerprinted by then.
Trying to get on for the in custody docket, right?
July 28th at 1:30.
Okay.
And if you need to take it yourself, Mr. Trevino, let's get it
Yeah, I'll go
done.
ahead.
Is this a
I'll go
time?
ahead and do it.
Mr. Ramirez at the jail, did you hear that? We will not need Jose Luis. Jose Luis
Jose Luis.
Arevalo, we won't need.
10-4, Jose Luis Arevalo reset. Is there a next court date for Jose Luis Arevalo?
11/28.
July 28th.
There's also an Alex Vela. I don't think he needs to be brought out because I haven't received an offer on that.
But that's not a 49th case?
As far as I understand, yes.
What's his name?
Alex Vela.
Yeah, on the waiting room right now, they should let you in, okay? Yes. There's an attorney in the waiting room, Alma.
Find out what you need to do to
I
submit.
don't
Are
see
you sure
him
it's a 49?
on the 49.
Are you sure it's a 49th case, Mr. Trevino?
Let me see.
No,
I'll check it.
Judge, if I may, Ana Garza for the state, it's a 406 case.
Thank you.
It's on page 4 and 5 of the 406.
So what are we gonna do with this, Mr. Trevino?
Well, I don't have an offer on that yet. So I don't see why he needs to be brought out.
I can confer with Mr. Trevino, Judge, and provide an offer for all cases. I believe there's 4.
There's 4 cases. Okay, so
Thank you.
Marco, so I guess we need to set this for another final pretrial. Let's give them 30 to 40 days.
So Vela,
Alejandro Vela does not need to be brought out, and we need a reset date for this. Marco, are you on?
August the 24th at 1:30, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any other cases with agreed announcements?
No, Your Honor. All I have is that plea that can be consumed today.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Anyone else?
Yes, Your Honor, Anali Vargas for the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, let's 49 cases. and then-
49th docket, yes, Your Honor. Alan Lugo, page 2.
Okay,
He's being held federally, but he also picked up a new charge. So I'm gonna need to talk to the ADA about the new charge and figure out what's happening federally, Judge, so we can pass that one.
Email it to them.
Yes, Judge, but we need a writ because he's there
Yeah.
on federal.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's on page 2 at the bottom. We need a writ for him.
So let's set it in 2 months.
He's housed at the county jail. I don't know if that makes it faster.
A little bit, but they still have
Who's
to.
the ADA?
Paul Thompson here.
Okay.
Your Honor,
The 6
I'll be the one
months,
requesting the writ.
I know, but is 2 months good or too much or too little?
Since he's being housed locally, if you wanted to, you could give us a shorter time or 2 months. That's fine.
August 11th, is that good, Paul?
That's fine.
Okay, August 11th. August 11th at 9:30.
Okay. Any other 49th cases?
Judge, I have on page 3 and 4, Saul Iram Rodriguez. For him, I'm gonna need a pass because I need to file a motion to set bond. And he also picked up a new case, which is why his bonds were revoked. So I do have an offer, but I just need time to speak to the ADA, Joe Rodriguez, about his new charge to see if it's gonna be part of the offer or not.
How much time, Annalie?
When is Judge Lopez presiding over the in custody?
August 11th
August 11th.
at
And
9:30.
okay, well, let's do that one. I think hopefully we can resolve it by then, actually.
Okay, for a final pretrial at 9:30.
Yes, okay.
The jail, did you hear that we don't need Saul Iram Rodriguez?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Okay,
Question, which one was the other reset before this one?
the one before this one was, no, the one you had given me that needs to read, Lugo.
Oh, yes, understood.
That's it? One again?
Anything further, Ms. Vargas?
No, Your Honor, the other one I have is a plea, and then we have some new cases.
All right, any other attorneys with agreed
I have
announcement?
an announcement, Your Honor, on Juan Vela, 406,
One Bella 406.
in custody.
August 11th, yeah.
What was the name?
Juan Vela, Your Honor,
Okay.
406.
Oh, here, I found on page 2, on page 1 and 2.
And 3, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yes, there's several cases, Your Honor.
what's the request?
Your Honor, we received a revised plea offer, and I conferred with my client late last week, like Friday, and I was able to confer with my client this morning, but there's still some things that I need to research, so we're just asking that it be reset for a plea, Your Honor. It's a time to serve plea, so
How much time do you need?
Your Honor, maybe 14 days. The only thing is currently I'm set for a trial on the 8th on a murder case, but I've been advised by Ms. Gutierrez that the state may be filing a motion for continuance, so, but right now we're still set.
Well, who's this 406 Marco? What do we have in 2 to 3 weeks?
Yes, sir. That'll be, we have August the 2nd, Your Honor, available.
That's too quick, I think.
Yes,
August the 11th, Your Honor, at 1:30.
Your Honor,
Or
that trial is set for the 8th.
August the
I said,
17th.
I was informed by the state that they filed a motion for continuance on that case. It's a
August the
murder case,
17th at 1:30.
17th. At what time, Marcos?
At 1:30?
That would be fine, Your Honor.
Perfect. All right. Any other cases, Mr. Rubio?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have. May I be excused, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other agreed announcements where the defendants don't have to be brought out?
Your Honor, if I may, Omar Salinas. On the 406 docket, Your Honor, the very first case, Gilberto Vela Jr.
Okay,
It's a motion to revoke final hearing, Your Honor. However, he has another case in the 341st that we're trying to work together. So whatever happens in that case is going to mirror what happens on this motion to revoke. I believe he's set for July 28th on that other case. And I think it's close to being resolved, Your Honor. So we're asking if we could just have a date sometime in mid-August, Your Honor.
Mr. Perez? How does the August 17th,
That is correct, Your Honor. August 17 at 1:30.
1:30?
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Great, thank you, Mr. Salinas. Any other cases?
No, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr.
Gabriel
Nieto?
Nieto here with the Public Defender's Office. On page 7 of the 341st docket, Ramon Charles.
Okay, what are we doing?
Your Honor, on that case, we already have an agreement. I was just able to reach an agreement with the states, and my client agreed to the offer just yesterday. We just need to put it in writing. All we need is just a couple weeks.
Raquel, what do we have for a plea in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, Your Honor, we have August 2nd
That works.
at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what was the name of that inmate on the 341st?
Ramon,
Yeah, Ramon Charles.
August the 8th.
August
No,
2nd.
August 2nd.
August 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Down at Alan McGraw, we also have a 341st case we're covering for Rudy Morales on an incarcerated individual. Tomas Herrera.
he's in the Aran docket, Your Honor.
Yeah, and Mr. Morales just got appointed to that case last week. He was asking, I think he had to be out of town today, and is scheduled for a final hearing today, 1 week later. He's asking for a little more time, maybe 2-3 weeks.
Well, I'm showing that it's set for arraignment.
All right. I don't.
It's an MTR arraignment, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Okay.
well, we'll let the attorney make the announcement.
Yeah, we plead not true and ask for a
Well,
hearing.
he's not present. There's a problem. This is
Incarcerated.
what is the reset date we're looking at for the 341st? Did you say the August 1st?
August 2nd, Your Honor, at 8:30.
All right, let's just go ahead and reset it so Mr. Morales, his attorney of record, can make the announcement for him.
That'd be fine, Your Honor. We accept it. Thank you.
All right, August.
Judge,
So,
Judge, I have an announcement also. We excuse. Thank you, Your Honor.
yes, thank you, Mr. McGraw. And Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Dankoff?
Yes, Your Honor. I have an in custody announcement for Posadas Jorge.
Do you know which
Number
court?
number four on your docket,
I know, which court? I've got 3 documents.
341st, Your Honor.
41st, page 4.
Jorge Posadas.
It's in the Adam docket, Judge.
Oh. What? What are we gonna do with this case?
In this case, Your Honor, I've not been able to visit with Ms. Sandoval on a plea offer at this point. So I just need a little bit more time to work it, Judge.
How much more time?
30 days is fine, Judge.
Raquel?
Yes, Your Honor, we have August 24th, Your Honor. You know what, August 17th, Your Honor, 1:30.
That'll be fine, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dankoff. Any other announcements?
That's the only one I have, Judge. Have a nice afternoon. May I be excused?
Thank you, sir. Yes, good to see
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Your Honor, if I may.
Who was that uttered?
Webb County.
Yes, sir.
Alma McGraw rescheduled who?
Oh, it was,
Tomas Herrera.
From what court?
341st,
Reset till when?
August 2nd at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you.
Your Honor, maybe heard Paul Thompson for the state. On that reset with Alan McGraw, will that be a reset to arraign?
Yeah, he wasn't, yeah, he wanted to, unless, yeah, because the defendant hadn't been brought out.
That's fine, Your Honor. I just want to clarify.
As soon as I get here, I'll take off. Unless you want me to go right now.
Any other agreed announcements?
No quiero quedarme solo.
All right, are we ready then to go through the list through the jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so let's start off with the Webb County Jail that has the green background. The gentleman.
Yes, Your Honor. Here we have Suggs Edgar Mark from the 341st.
He's on page 5, Your Honor.
The court is going to call CRD 1429 D3, the state of Texas versus Edgar Mark Suggs. We're here on a status on his evaluation.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Sola with the Public Defenders for Mr. Suggs. We just got the evaluation results this morning, Judge. So if we can get 30 days so that I can review with my client and with the ADA in the case.
And we're going to set it in 30 days for status or?
For another status, Your Honor, yes.
Okay, we'll grant that request.
August 17 at 8:30. It's at 1:30. August 17 at 1:30 p.m.
All right, we'll see you back on the 17th, Mr. Suggs.
August the 17th. Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck, sir. All right, let's go to the second floor now. Who do we have?
I have Kevin Costilla, Your Honor.
Which court?
It's out of the 341st District Court.
Page 4, Judge.
The court calls 2020 CRB 1415 D3, the state of Texas versus Kevin Costilla. Mr. Costilla, have you talked to your attorney recently?
No.
Case office. What do you want to speak to?
To Pedro Jarro.
This is he.
Your Honor, if I may, this is Ms. Contreras, Pretrial Services.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sosa was retained on this case, Your Honor.
Hold on, we're talking about him. My thing's gonna work. ¿Qué dijo?
He's getting on now. He was in the wrong one. He was at first.
Christopher Tijerina y Noé Sánchez.
Anybody heard from Mr. Sosa?
Judge, he just called. He's trying to log in. We gave him the correct Zoom ID.
Let's leave Mr. Costillas there for a second and go back to the, is that the third floor? Wait, Mr. Costillas is which is Kevin Costilla, the one? Okay.
Levanta la mano, Costilla.
Okay, I got him. And so let's go to, what floor is the Webb County Jail linked to?
Right now, we're Your Honor, we're down on the tunnel. So
okay, in the tunnel.
Yes,
okay.
All the inmates we have access to them here.
Okay, I just wanted okay, so who's the gentleman we have there with you?
This is Kevin Costilla, and with a sheriff background, that's Christopher Tijerina.
Okay, so I want to talk to Christopher Tijerina. Which court is he out of? Because we're waiting for Mr. Sosa.
It's out of the 341st District Court.
Page
I
5.
am, I'm the lawyer on that one. Gonzalez, Your Honor.
Okay, let me call the case, Mr. Gonzalez. The court calls 2020 CRI 743D3, the state of Texas versus Christopher.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Except for the status of the motion to revoke, Your Honor. He's still pending his sentencing.
Where's all that background noise coming from? I can't hear the attorneys.
I think it's the jail judge.
It's with the present defendant judge, the one that you're calling right now.
I guess we'll have to lighten that load before it gets quieter then. So, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm sorry, can you repeat what you
Yes,
said?
Your Honor. He said on the status on the motion to revoke, he has a federal case pending that the state already knows about. He already pled guilty. He's pending a sentence. Now he has a new federal indictment, and he's represented by the same court-appointed attorney in both federal cases. I spoke to him yesterday.
So, we want to reset the status for how long?
I guess about 60 days, Judge.
Okay. Like sometime in September?
Your Honor, we have September 21st at 1:30.
Okay, Mr. Tijerina, so we're gonna reset your case to see what happens in the federal court, and we'll see you back on September 21st at 1:30. Good luck, sir.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Your excuse. Did Mr. Sosa show up?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge, I think that's him in the number that says 477.
We're going back to the second floor. We're recalling the case ending in 1415D3. Mr. Costillas, good afternoon, Mr. Costillas. I think your attorney's showing up right now. Mr. Sosa, is that you? You're on mute, Mr. Sosa.
Oh, where? I don't have him.
There he is. I see him. He's on mute. It has his name on there. I think, yeah, they put.
Let me call him, Judge. Hold on.
I'm right here.
There you go. Mr. Sosa, we just called the case of the state of Texas versus Kevin Costilla.
Yes, Your Honor, we're going to have to ask a little bit more time. I do believe that there is outstanding discovery in this case. Is Miss excuse me?
Who's the attorney?
Claudia Garcia for the state, Your Honor. I'm not sure what's pending, Mr. Sosa, but if you have something in particular that.
Isn't this the case that we had the statements missing from?
We've filed them.
When did you file them? I haven't. I've been so with my sickness isolated, but I haven't seen them.
Okay,
Your Honor,
I'll follow up with you.
Your Honor, and I'll just ask for the court to give us at least 30 days so that I can review those statements. I think they're inculpatory, and the state just had them translated and just had them.
Okay.
I don't know when they filed them, but it should be very close in time.
We have no objection, Your Honor. We filed them June 22nd.
Okay. So let's, what's the next date after the August 17th?
August 24th, Your Honor,
All right, August 24th
at
at
1:30.
1:30. All right, but the final pretrial is reset for that date, the 24th of August, 1:30. All right, then we'll see you back then, Mr. Costillas. You're excused.
All right, thank you.
All right, and Mr. Sosa, from this case, we have nothing further. You're excused from this case.
Well, yeah, but I have two other cases.
I know, but we have to bring the defendants out. We can't take them up
Yeah.
unless they're agreed announcements. Okay, back to the tunnel, back to the tunnel.
Your Honor, up next, we have Sanchez Jaime Noel.
341st, Your Honor, he's on page 7, 8, 11, and 12.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Edward Nolan representing Mr. Sanchez.
All right, let me call the cases and then we'll see what's going on. The court calls 2020 CRM 239D3, 2020 CRM 859D3, page 11. (2022) CRD 466D3, and last case is 2022 CRL 363D3, the state of Texas versus Jaime Noel Sanchez.
For the record, Your Honor, Edward Nolan representing Mr. Sanchez.
What's going on with all these cases there? I show that different stages.
Judge, there is one that's set for an informal conference today. Two of them are set for final revocation hearing. I have received a global offer from the district attorney's office. There was about 3 prosecutors involved in the multiple cases. However, we're trying to reach a global or a package deal, Judge, which has just been conveyed. And so I needed some time to confer with my client. The offer is time to serve. Judge, he has bonds on these cases. The only thing that's holding them in is a misdemeanor case. But also, Judge, since it is a time to serve offer, I need to confer with my client. And obviously, he needs to make a decision. But not only that, if he is going to serve time, to get his affairs in order, because he does have a family, Judge.
I don't know about this, Mr. Nolan. So how much time is he looking to serve possibly? And how long has he been in jail?
Judge, since I believe May, mid-May, if not later, Judge. So he's been there 45 to 60 days, Your Honor. But to be honest with you, I don't know the accurate amount of days.
Your Honor, Ms. Contreras, pretrial services. For the court's information, he's been in there 57 days.
Yeah. How much time do you think you need to be ready for if you?
Your Honor, 30 days should be more than enough.
There's a lot going on, and I'm.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Judge.
He's got a lot going on. I'm not gonna let him out on bond right now. So,
we're not requesting a bond at this time, Judge. We're just requesting some time so that we can.
Yeah,
obviously
30 days should be enough.
I'm sorry, Judge.
30 days.
Yes, sir.
August 24th, Your Honor, at 1:30.
There you go. 30 days.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I have excuse, Judge?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nolan. Yes.
Thank, have a good day, Judge.
Good luck, Mr. Sanchez. We'll see you back here in a month.
Next, we have Jose Gonzalez, Your Honor, out of the 341st docket.
Hold on a second. Where's
We
Gio?
have, yeah, the Gio's there, Judge.
All right, let's get Gio taken care of because they're going to switch over to the federal court. Alberto Martinez is which court? 341st.
Page 9, Judge.
The court calls 2021 CRD 808 D3, the state of Texas versus Alberto Martinez.
So Judge Gabriel Nieto here on behalf of Mr. Martinez. We're here for a status, Your Honor. I need to make arrangements to go to Geo to go visit with my clients. I'll be doing that next week, Your Honor. I'll visit with the state as to how to move forward with this case.
So what do we do? Set it for a status in what, 30 days?
30 days is more than sufficient, Your Honor.
Well, let's use the 17th date, August 17th. What was the time?
1:30, Your Honor.
30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Martinez. And we'll see you back here on the 17th.
Thank you.
All right. Who did we leave off with?
Jose Gonzalez, Your Honor.
On the second floor? Okay, what court is he on?
341st.
Page 8.
The court calls 2021 CRB 10000 D3, the state of Texas versus Jose Gonzalez.
Your Honor, Estela Rodriguez standing in for Mr. Juan Hernandez.
I thought I was seeing a ghost.
I know. I've been reeled in.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rodriguez. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Judge.
We're here on a status hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, the state filed a motion for continuance because they're having trouble getting some of the discovery. And Ms. Sandoval just took over the case from Mr. Josh Davila. So we need to know how much time they need to get the discovery. And then from there, we'll take it from there for a final pretrial and a trial date, I believe.
Your Honor, we're requesting 90 days. The issue we're having are in particular with the phone dumps. And when we conferred with the defense, they're okay with asking for a trial that's towards the end of the year. And I think that would give us enough time.
So maybe a final pretrial sometime in October.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Your Honor, the final pretrial, October 13 at 8:30 a.m.
And would you give us a trial date, Rickett?
That will be in December?
Uh-huh.
December 12 at 8 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, we'll see you back in court in October.
May I had a client at the Rio and they didn't bring him out, so I think we're going to reset.
All right, hold on a second, Mr. Balia. I'll take you up here in a second.
Thank you, Judge.
Did we dismiss Mr. Gonzalez?
No, Your Honor, maybe excused. That's all I have for today.
Morning. Yes, thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. And thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. We'll see you back in October. Okay, so Mr. Bali, what was that?
My client is Gilberto Arevalo. He was at the Geo, but they didn't bring him out and they're locked off now. So I think they're not going to bring him out. We don't have anything worked out anyway. So if we could have a short reset, maybe 15 days, just in time to get a writ.
Oh, okay.
August 2nd at 8:30.
Give me just a moment because I know I have settings on August the 2nd and I don't want to have a conflict because we need to resolve this. Is there another setting date?
17th at 1:30.
That's fine. The 7th or 17th, Judge?
I said, no, the 11th or the 17th.
The 11th is fine, Judge.
August 11th at 9:30 a.m.
Thank you, Judge. For Gilberto Arevalo.
Correct.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let's go to where the tunnel.
Your Honor, up next we have Grajeda Orlando Jr. from the 341st.
Page 9, Judge.
Judge Cassandra Loyos for the state on this case. I did file a motion to dismiss this case.
All right, did you hear that, Mr. Grajeda?
No, sir. Sorry about it.
The state has filed a motion to dismiss, so if you have nothing else pending.
Yes, sir.
You might be getting out of there soon.
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
All right, so, well, thank your attorney and the DA's office.
No, I thank everybody, sir.
I'm just the messenger, but that's on cause number 2021 CRI 448D3. Thank you, Miss Garcia. All right, good luck, Mr. Stay out of trouble.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
All right. The second floor. I didn't hear any of that. Second floor, who do we have?
Escobedo, out of the 341st docket.
Page 10, Judge.
Court calls 2021 CRM 1165D3 and 2021 CRM 1179D3, the state of Texas versus Daniel Jose Escobedo.
Yes, Your Honor. Gabriel Nieto here on behalf of Mr. Escobedo. Your Honor, we've reached an agreement as far as cause number 2021 CRM 1179D3. The agreement is for my client to have a sanction of 180 days with credit, Your Honor. And that's only for that cause number. For the other cause number, there won't be a sanction as part of the agreement.
So the sanction is on the 1165?
1179, Your Honor.
Or 1179, and there's no sanction under 1165.
Correct. And then be placed back on zero tolerance.
Just out of curiosity, so how long has he been in there?
He's been there for 120 plus days, Your Honor. I believe 122 days.
All right. Mr. Escobedo, is it?
Judge, if I may?
Yes.
Yes, there was an amended MTR filed on July the 15th, just to let the court know.
All right, so.
Your Honor, maybe heard, I guess the state would be offering a 90-day sanction on a state jail felony. I believe we're capped at 90 days. So that would be, I guess, just as a protect the judgment, I guess it would be 90 days to serve as a jail sanction. There are some witnesses that the state had subpoenaed earlier. It was Juan Roque and probation officer, Ms. Rivera, if they could be excused, Your Honor.
Yes, and Ms. Rivera, thank you for appearing this afternoon. You kind of wandered off before I got to say anything. But you're excused if you have nothing further. So, okay, the 90-day sanction will be approved. I'm assuming with that, he'll be released? Mr.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, he does have the credit.
Okay, he will be given, Mr. Escobedo will be given credit for the time served, but will be placed back on probation with zero tolerance. Did you understand that, Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, you can't get in trouble anymore. You got to keep reporting and doing everything, all the other conditions, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, anything further then?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Then the attorneys and Mr. Escobedo stay out of trouble or excused.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes,
Alexis Cordova for the probation department. If we can just have Mr. Escobedo report to probation upon being released.
okay, that'll be ordered as well. So Mr. Escobedo, as soon as you get out, go visit with Ms. Cordova or someone else at the probation office.
Okay, so I will.
All right. All right, thank you, sir. Back to the tunnel.
Your Honor, up next, we have Campos Luis Jorge from the 341st.
Page 11, Judge.
The court calls 2021 CRO 687D3, the state of Texas versus Luis Jorge Campos.
Your Honor, Gabriel Nieto here on behalf of Mr. Campos. Your Honor, I've made efforts a couple times to go visit with my client. He was in quarantine. He was just out of, he called me yesterday afternoon that he finally made it out of quarantine, Your Honor, but for that reason, I'm going to need some additional time so I can go visit with him. I do have an offer. I just need to discuss this with him.
How much time do you need, Mr. Nieto?
Just 2 weeks is more than sufficient, Your Honor.
So let's see,
August 2nd, Your Honor?
That works.
August 2nd then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Campos, we'll see you back here soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Judge, if I may, I'm sorry. Going back to the case on Daniel Escobedo, so on the 1179, is the motion to revoke going to be withdrawn on that case only?
What page is that on?
That was on page 10. It was a case that was just heard. He's gonna be placed on the 90-day sanction, so the MTR withdrawn only as to the 1179 case.
Well, I understood there was going to be no sanction on the 1165.
Okay.
So for final disposition, go ahead, Mr. Thompson.
Okay, Your Honor, whichever one you choose to put on is fine, Your Honor. My notes say, and this is from Crystal Calderon, that it will be 180-day sanction and placed back on probation for 1165, and the other just put back on probation. So 1179 would just be put back on probation. I'm assuming with zero tolerance if either one of them has zero tolerance.
Okay.
Is that
So
clear?
yes, 1165, 180 days, and on the 1179, just be placed back on probation. Okay. thank
However,
you.
we're modifying that to 90 days since it's a
Okay.
state jail felony.
All right, thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay. All right, moving on. Who did we leave off with?
Jose Cisneros, Your Honor, out of the 341st docket.
Isn't the item docket, Your Honor?
The court calls 2015 CRD 1261D3, the state of Texas versus Jose Cisneros.
Yes, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, señor.
What? Did you say something?
No, we're on the 341st docket. Mr. Martinez, I saw you floating out there.
Out of town?
No, he's on.
Keko,
No, it's,
Un momento.
oh, es que eres Keiko Martinez.
And you feel the need to tell him all this because
Alma, we can hear you, Alma.
just send him to get an attorney.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Martinez was court appointed by Judge Paloma.
Just recently?
Yes, Your Honor.
Señor Cisneros, ¿ha ido el señor, el abogado Martínez a visitar contigo?
no, pero last time estaba online in court.
No, but I did talk to him online.
Your Honor, Mr. Martinez was in the underlying case. This is the MTR.
Oh, but he was reappointed then.
He was originally retained and then he was appointed.
Well, he's not here now, so what do we do?
Your Honor, and I
Your
called
Honor.
him and he didn't answer, Your Honor.
Your Honor, you're talking about Gecko Martinez, is that correct?
Yes, I said Silverio, but my apologies. It's Sergio, it's Keiko Martinez.
Okay.
I said. Who's the Mr. Thompson on this? Is this anywhere close to being resolved or?
We have relayed an offer, Your Honor. We're just waiting on the attorney.
Let's set it for August 2nd at 8:30 a.m. And that's Judge Palomo's docket, so. Señor Cisneros, no está,
Yes, sir.
no está su abogado presente, así es que le vamos a dar cita para el día 2 de agosto.
That's right, because I'm working, I have like a year working, no puedo tener work release o algo. Llevo un mes. Es un cargo del 2014.
You know,
Tengo que pagar child support y tengo dos hijos pagando child support.
Mr. Thompson, we've got a defendant here suffering because his attorney's not present. And this is a state jail felony from 2015.
Yeah, 15. I haven't gotten nothing new and no new, nothing new. It's something old.
Mr. Thompson, what are the allegations under the MTR?
Let's see here, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, there are conditions 2 and condition 11.
11 is the fees, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And 2 is what?
It's the drug test, positive drug test.
4?
They're just conditions 2 and condition 11.
2 and 11.
Yes.
No, I meant, what did he test positive for? Or he didn't take the test?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, so he tested positive on March 19th of 2019 and on May 2nd of 2019. And he admitted to use on June 7th of 2019. It was for marijuana and cocaine.
He's just now being revoked?
His motion to revoke, Your Honor, was done back on June 20th of 2019.
Oh, they just caught up to him then.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well,
I have time served for 2017. I was here for 2 months for the same charge. That's gonna count.
So
as 2 months.
Okay, Mr. Cisneros?
Judge,
Yes.
if I may, Gecko just called the 49. He's about to call the 341st because he's driving. He's out of town.
Okay, we're gonna, well, regardless,
Are those 50 days that's gonna counter 2017? And I have.
you'll be given credit. No, I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Where are you working at, Mr. Cisneros?
Subway, sir. Subway on Man Road. I have a year there, and they still have talked with them, and they told me that they're gonna help me, but how long gonna be there? But I've been working a year. You
All
can
right,
call them.
Mr. Cisneros, I'm gonna give you a $4,000 PR bond
Okay,
to get out.
yes, sir.
Stay in contact with your attorney, and does he need to report to probation?
Your Honor, may I be heard?
Yeah.
Whatever the court decides, that's fine, and we understand. I just wanted the court to be aware that this MTR was signed on 6/11 of 2019. And I want to say he was capious for nearly 2, maybe 3 years.
Well, he's obviously been here in town and has been out of trouble for about 3 years, or he would have been
True.
picked up for something else. So I'm inclined to, and we are talking about a 2015 state jail felony. So
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to let him get out on a $4,000 PR bond.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And Ms. Cordova, does he need a report or anything?
Yes, Your Honor, because the last time he reported was back on June 6th of 2019.
Okay, I'm letting you out on the condition that you're going to start reporting to probation. Mr. Cisneros, do you understand that?
Okay. If I get time served, how many days would it be? How many more?
Well, talk to your attorney about the
Okay.
offer or what they're going to do with this. Because I don't know whether there's an offer or what they're planning to do with this, but when do you need him to contact you or come in?
He can report, Your Honor, as soon as he's released. If he's released after 5 p.m. today, he can report tomorrow as early as 7:30 in the morning.
Can you do that, Mr. Cisneros?
Yes, it's gonna be here on this section on downtown or Zapata or where it is.
Your officer is Miss Lorena Rivera, so she's located in the south office.
All right, son.
Is that easier for? I
It
mean,
would be better for it could be here. I'll be here by downtown.
He can report to the downtown office, Your Honor, but then he'll be rescheduled with his officer in the south, since his
Well,
officer is over
what I
there.
want him to do is to start reporting, and I think that'll at least start the process.
Okay, yes, Your Honor, he can report to the downtown office, and then we'll give him further instruction.
All right.
Your Honor,
Yes.
if I may, if he gets released, his next court date is gonna be, it will be August 16 at 8:30.
So you'll be in the regular docket, and if you can't Zoom on, you need to show up in person on August 16th at 8:30.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cisneros, good luck, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
See you next month.
Thank you.
Tunnel?
Your Honor, up next from the 49th, Cuellar, Victor Alfonso.
He's on page 1 and 2, Your Honor.
Court calls 2021 CRE 657D1 and 2020 CRK 352D1, the state of Texas versus Victor Alfonso Cuellar.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if the court's aware, but I contracted COVID last week, and so I'm just recovering. I haven't had a chance to visit Mr. Cuellar this week, but I've been regularly visiting him in the jail, and we received an offer from the state. I've conveyed a counter offer. The state is pondering it and wanting to consult with the family, but I think we're really close to a deal here. It's going to be a time to serve offer, and I've conferred with Mr. Soto, and we're requesting a 2-week reset to see about getting everything together.
Judge Cassandra Lawyers for the state, there's no objection for a reset.
So August 11th at 9:30.
And Mr. Cuera, I just want him to know that I was sick. That's why I haven't visited him this week.
It's okay, sir. I understand.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see. you then.
Fred, do you still want another status hearing or?
Yeah, we should have it for a status hearing. If we get a deal, we'll let you know so we can.
All
set
right.
up complete.
Okay. All right.
Aprendió un rato. Vamos a entrar ahí porque está public defender, güey. Lo harán ahí el public defender. Sí, para entrar.
Gecko, we can still hear you.
Yes.
Well, put yourself on mute.
You'll have to wait. All right, thank you, Mr. Trevino. And good luck, Mr. Cuellar. And we'll see you
Thank
back
you.
in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Your
All right,
Honor,
back to the-
next, Juan Alvarez Mendez out of the 49th docket.
Page
He's
3,
gonna need
Judge.
The court calls 2022 CRD 510D1 and 2021 CRG 1510D1, State of Texas versus Juan Ramiro Alvarez Mendez.
And Your Honor, he's going to need an interpreter.
Buenas tardes, señor Mendez.
I'm available, sir.
All right, so
Your Honor, Mr. Mendez has two cases. He has a new one that's a family violence case, just an aggravated assault, and then he's got the older one is a assault on a pregnant woman, also a family violence case. There's two different DAs on this. 67 days ago, Mr. Mendez's bond was revoked on the earlier case, on the 2021 case. We had a revocation of bond hearing, and his bond was revoked. I had been planning on filing a motion to set bond on that case because 60 days has expired since his revocation. However, I got sick, so I'm just giving notice to the court. I know the state is not agreeing to a bond at this time. I've conferred with them. So we're just giving notice that we'll be filing a motion to set bond on the 2021 case. And the DAs are still conferring about an offer for Mr. Mendez.
so we're going to reset this then for, in how many days do you think before you get back
Well,
on your feet and get the motion filed?
Well, I'll be getting the motion filed today or tomorrow, Your Honor, to have a motion set, a hearing set on that. But as far as just an evidence exchange motion setting, we're probably just a normal setting for those others.
So do you want the same date as the other case?
That would be fine.
Okay, August 11th. And you want both of them to be evidence exchange?
Yes, please.
Let's
Okay.
do that. Yes, that makes it easier.
Okay.
Were you able to understand, Mr. Mendez?
Señor Méndez, ¿me
Yeah,
puede
speak
escuchar?
English. Yeah, speak English.
Okay, he speaks English.
All right, and I would have visited you sooner, Mr. Mendez. I got COVID.
All right, thank you. Anything further, Mr. Trevino?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the attorneys and Mr. Mendez, you're excused, and we'll see you back here on the 11th of August. 9:30 PM, AM. Printed PM on here. So going to the tunnel, right?
Your Honor, up next from the 49th, Pesina Rodolfo Jr.
He's got multiple.
Page 5, 6, and 7.
The court calls 2021 CRO 926 D1.
Yes, Judge.
2021 CRJ 314 D1. 2021 CRJ 315 D1. 2021 CRJ 924 D1. And 2021 CRJ 1403D1, the state of Texas versus Rodolfo Pesina Jr.
Yes, Judge. Plea packets were filed. Don't know if the court has them.
I don't know, Alma, do we have?
No,
them?
no, we don't have them, Judge. We'll just go ahead and set them for next week. July 28 at 1:30 for the plea.
All right. July 28th PM.
At 1:30.
1:30 for a plea on all cases. Okay, Mr. Pesina, we'll see you here next month. For
Next week, next week, Judge.
Next week, I'm sorry. A long day.
Next, we have Michael Richard Uribe, Your Honor, out of the 49th docket.
Page 7, Judge.
Court calls 2021 CRH 409D1, the state of Texas versus Michael Richard Uribe. Good afternoon, sir.
So that's your case?
It takes a while to unmute the regular phone. Your Honor, I still need a little bit more time to get a final disposition on this case and to plea him out.
How much time, Mr. Sosa?
30 days.
Ms. Martinez, Alma?
August 11th at 9:30 for the MTR final hearing again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sosa. All right.
I still have one other case, Your Honor.
I know, but
And
without,
yeah, no, I know. Never mind.
all right.
I'm
Unless
gonna wait.
hold on a second here. Mr. Gecko Martinez.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Mr. Martinez, did you know you were supposed to be in court at 1:30?
No, it wasn't on the docket. Judge, it wasn't on my docket, but anyway, I got a call and I'm here reporting as for duty. I called right now checking to see if it was Jose Cisneros Jr.
All right, let me tell you what's going on with this, Mr. Martinez. You're going to be back in court on August 16th at 8:30.
Yes, sir, I will, Your Honor. And I'm glad you let me know because it wasn't on my docket.
Well, you're going to be with Judge Palomo on that day.
Yes, Your Honor. Apparently, there was some confusion.
Hold on. All right. Under the circumstances, I granted your client a PR bond so he can go back to work. Also, that he can start to report to probation, so make sure he follows that.
Yes.
All right. All right. Then you're excused, Mr. Martinez. I need to move on.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, sir.
Next.
Your Honor, from the 49th, Julio Cesar Veloz from the 49th.
Who is it?
Veloz.
He's on page 1, Judge.
He's on the add-on, the last page.
The court calls 2022 CRK 410. State of Texas versus Julio Cesar Veloz.
Yes.
Judge, I believe this defendant was never served with this indictment. He's there for another charge. Is that true, Annalie?
Ms. Vargas?
Yes, Your Honor, our office hasn't been appointed yet, but yes, that's the note I have, that he's being held on an assault class A.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon. The Public Defender's Office was appointed to this case, Judge.
We can put the feet, we can put the feet on in the middle because we're gonna.
Teco, yeah, mute the jail here for a second so I can hear what they're saying.
Yes, I did, Judge.
Okay. I'm sorry, Valerie, can you repeat what you told me?
Yes, Your Honor, the Public Defender's Office was recently appointed. And the defendant is being held on charges at the magistrate level.
He's being held what?
On new charges, Judge?
Okay. So what do we need to do?
Well, Judge, at least for our case, I know it says motion setting on the docket, but I believe for us, it's going to be an initial consultation. So we'll look into the misdemeanor charge and whatnot if we're appointed to that one. But as far as Mr. Veloz goes, if we can get his contact information in case he is released so that we'll be able to speak to him about the case.
So the Class A is what's keeping him in right now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any way of knowing whether he's going to be able to bond out on that Class A?
I think it's an $8,000 bond. Right now, Judge, I don't even know if our office is appointed. I can find out if we are appointed to the Class A or not.
I think pretrial services said that you were.
Okay.
That's
Then,
correct.
but I personally haven't spoken to Mr. Veloz, so I need to know a little bit more about his financial situation to know that, Judge.
Do you want a quick setting or you want to?
It can be a quick setting. This is a state jail felony. I just need his contact info, and we'll make a visit to him if he's still in custody, maybe tomorrow.
What about the second?
August the 2nd?
Yeah, August 2nd at 8:30.
Okay.
And it'll be for a motion setting. Our case.
And can I get his contact information?
Mr. Veloz, do you have a phone number where your attorneys can reach you?
Oh, Charles, no, I lose everything.
You lost
I
everything?
lose my wallet and I lose my phone.
All right. Do you have an address?
No, right now, no, I lose everything. Right now, I'm homeless.
You're homeless?
Yes. Like, I'm gonna say like a month. I live in Salanto with my family. I got my wife over here, but I don't got no house right now.
You don't have a phone number for your family in San Antonio?
No, yeah, he got, but
You
I
don't
don't
know?
remember. No, I don't know the number.
Your Honor, we'll try to make a visit with him while he's in custody, but if he should bond out, what I ask is that they just report to our office when he's out so that we can continue to make appointments with him.
Mr. Veloz, do you know where the public defender's office is?
Yes.
Okay, so if you get out, if you have a Class A pending, that's going to go to another judge, so they'll have to decide what they're going to do with your bond, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Veloz. And what was the date on this one? August 2nd?
Yes, Judge, August the 2nd at 8:30.
30. All right, we'll see you back here then, possibly, Mr. Veloz.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. God bless you.
Next, we have Mark Anthony Guardiola, Your Honor, out of the 49th docket.
Same page, Judge, in the bottom.
All right. Court calls 2022 CRG 394D1, State of Texas versus Mark Anthony Guardiola.
Your Honor, the public defender has been appointed to Mr. Guardiola. This is a capious hearing Apparently he didn't show up to court, looks like July 17th or June 17th, Your Honor. No, it's July 17th. So just recently.
18th. It was
May 20th. I
I'm
think.
sorry. So we'd just like to know why he didn't, was he served or why he didn't show up and get a reset, Your Honor, and his contact information.
Mr. Wadriola, do you want to weigh in on this?
Yes, Your Honor. I had called to the district attorney's office so I can get all that appointed. So because I had two separate bonds people, and one of them didn't give me the information on it. They had told me it was on May the 13th or something like that, and then they had made a reschedulment. And I couldn't really hear too much because it was kind of loud, so I couldn't hear. And this and I had rescheduled for the 18th, but on Sunday I was with my family and we were on a routine traffic stop and that's when they brought me in here on Sunday. So that's the reason why I missed court on the 18th on Monday.
Mr. Wahadlo?
Judge, I can agree to the original bond, Judge, the one he had.
To reinstate it?
Yeah, with standard DV conditions, Judge, and through yeah, whatever original bond he had.
This is a consultation, Your Honor. So we just need also a contact information for him.
Mr. Wadriola, do you have a phone number so your attorney can have it?
Yes, sir. It's 956-635-9660, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, do you know whether his bondsmen have filed a 716 motion?
No, Your Honor.
A 1716, I mean.
I have it on, it doesn't appear, it's not on Zoom. It just says that there was a capious hearing, warrants were issued, writ of indictment filed. But nothing in Odyssey shows that they're trying to lift the bond or the bond was lifted or taking, removing their responsibility.
Judge, if I may?
Yes.
Yes, the bond was set at 25,000 for count 1, and then count 2, it was an added charge as per the clerk's note. So there's no bond as per count 2 if he's going to be released on if the original bond is going to be reinstated.
So I guess we need a bond, some sort of bond on the second count.
Yes.
Well, if we reinstate the first bond if we reinstate the bond at 25, I guess we could just do a PR on the second one, on the second count. And that'll have the same effect.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's fine, Judge.
Okay, so we'll do that. We're going to reinstate the $25,000 bond, and on the second count, I'm going to impose a 5,000 PR bond.
Through pretrial services, Judge.
Okay, through pretrial services.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Judge, the 5,000 PR, we still need to charge the 3%.
I'm not waiving the fee.
Yes, Your Honor. If I could just have a phone number for Mr. Guardiola's family, Judge, to contact them about the bond.
Okay. Can you repeat your phone number, Mr. Guardiola?
956-635-9660.
Whose number was that?
That is my wife's. Also,
Okay.
my grandmother's.
Okay.
My grandmother's is a second contact as well, which is 999-0028.
Judge, and just for the court's information, he's also being held on a warrant from County Court at Law 2.
Well, I can't do anything about that. So you're not his attorney on that, are you, Mr. Trevino? I wouldn't imagine.
I'm not his attorney on that, but I don't know if maybe our office could be.
It is the Public Defender's Office, Your Honor.
County Court 2.
Well, they'll still have to work with Judge Villarreal. on
Yes,
that
Your Honor.
one. Okay. All right, anything further, Mr. Trevino?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the attorneys and Mr. Guardiola, good luck, sir. As far as your cases with the district courts, they've been taken care of, but you still have to talk to Judge Villarreal about the other KPS, okay?
Judge, we need to give him a date,
Oh, are we gonna, well,
a regular court date.
yeah, regular court date.
Be August the 26th at 9 a.m. for evidence exchange.
If you're unable to attend by Zoom, you have to attend in person, Mr. Guardiola.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Judge, and that's all I have. Maybe excuse.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So moving on to the tunnel.
Your Honor, from the 406, we have Bovier Hernandez Gustavo from the 406. He requires or requests a Spanish translation.
Ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bouvier. Let me just find it on the docket. Marco, what page is he on?
Yes, Your Honor, he's on the first page, Your Honor, of the 406 docket.
Oh, I see it. The court calls 2021 CRD B4, State of Texas versus Gustavo Bouvier Hernandez.
Hi, Judge. This is Philip Del Rio. I guess I was appointed to this particular defendant last month, so it's relatively new on the case. Although, Your Honor, I haven't had a chance to meet with him, but I don't know if perhaps we could inquire whether or not he understands any English, as my Spanish may not be to the level that's sufficient to communicate with them. So I'd like to get that cleared up early on. And if that's the case, then maybe someone else needs to be appointed that can better communicate with the defendant.
All right.
Can you translate, Mr. Bouvier Hernandez? Do you understand any English?
Señor Bovier Hernández, ¿me puede oír? ¿Me puede escuchar?
Sí, señor. Buenas tardes, Dios le bendiga.
Una pregunta. ¿Entiende usted algo de inglés?
No mucho.
He says he understands very little.
Yeah, Judge, and that was my concern. I mean, the allegations are extremely serious. And so I don't know if it'd be in the interest of justice appropriate for me to represent him if I can't properly communicate, given that I think it's essentially a very long time to serve offer, given the allegations and the evidence that I've at least been apprised of.
Can you translate that, Mr. Juarez?
Sí, verá, su abogado acaba de ser nombrado recientemente. Sin embargo, él nos acaba de informar de que él no habla mucho español y en vista de la gravedad de las acusaciones en su contra, él cree que a lo mejor otro abogado estaría mejor preparado para ayudarlo con sus acusaciones.
Desgraciadamente estoy en las manos de Dios y estoy en las manos de ustedes.
Unfortunately, I'm in God's hands and I am in your hands.
Mr. Hernandez, I want to ensure that you have proper representation in this case, so I'm inclined to make sure that your attorney can communicate with you. Go ahead, Mr. Juarez.
Yes. Verá, señor Bouvier Hernández, el juez quiere informarle de que él quiere estar seguro de que usted tenga una consejería legal de vida adecuada para usted, para este caso.
De vida?
Yeah, the proper legal counsel.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Sí, le quería pedir disculpas.
Wait.
Ahí.
What's happening is I'm about to ask pretrial services if there's another attorney that will be better able to represent you.
Sí, lo que el juez va a hacer es, va a comunicarse con la oficina de servicios, de servicios legales para ver si le pueden conseguir a usted un mejor abogado.
Muy bien, señor. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Valerie, who do we have next?
Your Honor, the next attorney will be the Public Defender's Office. However, they withdrew because Mr. Bouvier Hernandez had an issue with them. And Your Honor appointed Mr. Del Rio. So next would be either Mr. Fausto Sosa or Victor Villafranca.
Mr. Perez, what I'm going to do with this case, when is Judge Hale expected back in the office?
Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah.
I apologize, Mr. Villafranca is not taking first-degree felonies right now.
Yeah, I wasn't inclined to import.
Mr. Jonathan Garcia Davalos is next after he is judge.
He knows Spanish.
Yeah, he does, Judge. He'd be appropriate for this case.
How have you survived in Laredo without knowing Spanish, Mr. Del Rio? That's what I
Well,
want.
you know, I can get by, Judge, but you know, again, if this was like a drug case or something, not as serious as what he's charged, then I would feel okay, and I'd feel confident that we could get it done. But just the nature of the allegations, Your Honor, and some of the evidence that I've been apprised of, this requires a lot of thorough explanation and understanding of and discussion with the client. So I don't think it's fair to him, Your Honor.
All right, so Marco, we're going to have to kind of restart the clock on this. Does Judge Hale, he does motion settings prior to the final pretrial, right?
What type of motion setting, Your Honor?
Well, I mean, what's the order of hearings that Judge Hale uses? Because every court uses a different.
Yeah, we have informals, final pretrial, and then the jury selection date.
Oh, okay, that's pretty efficient. So basically, we just need to reset the final pretrial then, right?
Yes, sir.
And we're going to need to give Mr. Davalos some time to get up to speed. So the court is going to appoint Mr. Del Rio. I'm going to take it as an oral motion and it's going to be granted. And the court is going to appoint Mr. Davalos, the next on the appointment list.
Thank you, Your Honor.
July, August, September.
In all fairness, we could probably give Mr. Garcia the informal docket so he can at least get the documentations from both public defender and Mr. Del Rio, and then he can get a final pretrial. And
Do you have something in early October? Well, we're coming up on August, or let's say mid-September. That should be enough time.
yes, Your Honor. Yes, we have September 7th, Your Honor, at 2 p.m.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to appoint a new attorney that is fluent in Spanish to better help you with your defense. His name is Jonathan Garcia. Is it Davalos Garcia or?
Davalos Garcia.
Davalos Garcia.
Señor Gustavo Bouvier Hernández, el juez le va a dar un abogado nuevo, uno que habla muy bien el español. Su nombre es Jonathan Davalos Garcia.
And we're going to give you a new setting on September 7th at 2 p.m.
Y su próxima audiencia será el 7 de septiembre a las 2 de la tarde.
Muchísimas gracias. Dios le bendiga.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Buena suerte, señor. Good luck, sir.
Gracias, señor. Dios le-
All right, go.
That's all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Del Rio.
Thank you, Judge.
Next in line, Your Honor, Tadeo Eusebio Avalos, out of the 406 docket.
Omar Salinas to Mr. Avalos, Your Honor.
Well, hold on, I'm just trying to find the
On page 6, Judge.
the court calls 2020 CRI 1000 D4, the state of Texas versus Eusebio Tadeo Avalos Jr. On the court also calls 2020 CRI 797 D4, state of Texas versus Eusebio Tadeo Avalos.
Yes, Your Honor. And these cases are both MTR final hearings. I believe we are waiting for some police reports for the condition 1, Your Honor. And I believe the state intends also to amend the motion to revoke to include a new offense. I believe it's an assault, family violence, or some type of assault. So we were just going to ask for possibly 14 to 30-day reset, Your Honor, so that can be done.
Yes, Your Honor, Crystal Calderon for the state, that's correct.
Mr. Perez, what do we have? August 24th at 1:30 p.m. and that'll be with Judge Hale. It's his case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you get that, Mr. Avalos?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you back here in a month, in 4 days.
All right.
All right, good luck, sir.
All right, sir.
What do we have in the tunnel? Thank you, Mr.
Your Honor, from the 406, Diaz Garcia Jesus. He requests a Spanish interpreter.
Let me find the case first.
I'm sorry, what's his name?
Diaz Garcia Jesus Elias.
Thank you.
Marco, what page is he on?
He is on page 6, Your Honor, at the very bottom. Jesus Elias Diaz Garcia.
Court calls 2020 CRF 1815 D4, the state of Texas versus Elias Diaz Garcia.
Good afternoon, Judge Silverio Martinez for the defendant.
Good afternoon, Mr. Martinez.
Your Honor, we have a plea agreement.
Is it on file?
It is on file, Your Honor. It's been signed by everybody. And the fingerprints have been finalized.
Mr. Perez, I have 3 plea packages, but neither one of them is for Mr. Garcia.
Mr. Martinez, when was the plea filed? Isn't that to Odyssey?
Give me 1 second, Judge. Let me check with my assistant, make sure that it's been filed. I know we sent it in and it got signed by everybody, but let me find out. If I can have just one second here.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I apologize, Judge. I just, my assistant here at the office left and my other assistant that was on maternity leave came back, so we're kind of having to catch up. If Your Honor wants to move along and then call me back when we have it, we're trying to make sure it was filed.
Well, the problem, if it wasn't filed, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to see it, and
Yes, no, I'll make sure. I'm trying to find out if my previous assistant filed it. I know that when we got everything signed, but it might have been put on hold because the DA had not signed.
no, well, let's do this. Judge Hale, in 8 days, we have another in custody.
Okay.
So why don't we do that instead of holding everything up? And because of the charges, I think I'd like to be able to look at what I may or may not be approving.
Absolutely, Judge. Yes.
Okay, so let's reset this for a plea on July 28th at 1:30 p.m.
That'll work. I'll make sure that everything's been filed.
It happens, no worries. All right, thank you. And Mr. Garcia, we'll see you back in 8 days, okay?
Señor García, vamos a reprogramar su audiencia para para la próxima semana, 28 de julio a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Buena suerte. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we have Teodeo Eugenio Herrera out of the 406 docket.
All right, the court calls 2019 CRK 143D4 and 219 CRI 194D4, the state of Texas versus Eugenio Teodoro Herrera.
Omar Salinas for Mr. Herrera, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Salinas again. Final hearing, motion to revoke.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the state has conveyed a recommendation of ISF both tracks, and in exchange, they will withdraw the MTR, and Mr. Herrera has agreed to those terms.
Mr. Herrera, do you understand English?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney has just indicated that you've reached an agreement in which you're going to attend ISF, both tracks?
Yes, sir.
And the state will be withdrawing its motion to revoke then?
Yes, Judge.
Ana Garza for the state. Oh,
All right,
yes, Judge.
the agreement will be approved. Anything further, Mr. Salinas?
No, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, Mr. Herrera.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, how long is gonna take for me to come pick me up to?
Okay. I know. How long have you been in jail?
May 9.
Okay. Well, look, now that you've been approved, you've already got the 14 days in jail. So as soon as a bed becomes available, you'll be picked up. Okay. So I can't give you an exact date. It might be a few weeks is the best I can tell you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Herrera.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck, and we'll see you, or best of luck in ISF. Who do we have in the tunnel?
Your Honor, from the 406, Isaguirre Ramiro.
Calls 2020 CRH 574D4 2021 CRH 479 D4 and 2020 CRD 1487 D4, the state of Texas versus Ramiro Izaguirre. Good afternoon, Mr. Izaguirre. Can you hear me okay?
Go ahead. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. You're going to be doing all three plea packages?
Yes, Judge.
Who's here for the defense?
It's Mr. Trevino.
I'm here, Judge.
Oh, Mr. Armando. Good afternoon again, Mr. Trevino.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Who filled out the plea packages, Mr. Trevino?
I did.
Three females are in here.
Kind of hard to read your writing.
One there, Ramirez already took them. That's only these two on the field.
Any objection to proceeding on all three at the same time?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Izaguirre, do you understand English?
Yes.
The first thing what I understand is that you and your attorney have an agreement with the state and you're going to enter into 3 pleas today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. When I ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn in by the clerk.
Your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to say the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Izaguirre, you're here with your attorney, Mr. Armando Trevino. Have you had enough
No, they're
time?
gonna serve. They're gonna do one up there. She's 96.
No lo puedo decir, sir.
Okay. Deco, and also, can you see if you can keep the other inmates down a little bit? All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, have you had enough time to visit with your attorney regarding the 3 cases that you have pending before the court right now?
Yeah.
Ya estoy por acabar.
And you've had enough time and to ask them questions about everything that's going to happen here today?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the services Mr. Trevino has provided?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that I need to hear about that prevents you from understanding what's going to happen here today?
Ahora más quería saber si el año que llevo aquí me lo van a dar de credit.
I just want to know if the year that I spent in jail, if you would give me credit for it.
Well, Mr. Izaguirre, normally what we do, I normally do that, okay? But I won't take that up until I give you your sentence. I will tell you that if I do not go along with the agreement, in other words, if I change it, then you'll be allowed to take your plea back. But if I go along with the agreement, you won't be able to complain about it later, okay?
Okay.
Did we swear him in?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. It just threw me off. Okay, before we get to that, Mr. Izaguirre, is there anything that I need to know about that prevents you from understanding what is happening today?
No.
You understand everything?
Yes.
And Mr. Trevino, is your client competent to go forward?
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Izaguirre, I have the 3 plea packages in front of me. Did you go over those with your attorney?
Yes.
And you signed them? You signed all of them? All
Yes.
3 of them?
Yes.
In there, you're telling me that you're waiving certain rights, and I'm going to go over a few of those rights and ask you if you understand what happens when you waive your rights.
Okay.
The first right you have is you have the right to remain silent. You don't have to plead guilty. You have the right to go to a jury and have them hear your case. You have the right to have the jury assess your punishment. And if there are witnesses and evidence against you, you have a right to test the evidence that the state has against you. If we go forward today, do you understand that you're giving up your right to do all those things?
Yeah.
Also, as I mentioned a little while ago, if I go along with this agreement and I sentence you along the lines of the agreement you have with the state of Texas, you cannot complain about that punishment unless you get special permission from this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm looking at your plea packages. You have 3 felony 2 offenses. And I have to warn you what the maximum punishment is if someone is found guilty for a second-degree felony in the state of Texas. You could be confined for a term between 2 to 20 years and a fine of $10,000. Did your attorney explain that to you?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you now that that's the maximum. I know that that's probably not the agreement you have with the state of Texas, but you have to know that that's a possibility. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Also, I have to ask everyone this question. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And even though you're telling me that you are a U.S. citizen, I do have to tell everyone this. If you are not a U.S. citizen and you plead guilty, you could subject yourself to deportation, denied reentry, and denied the right to become a U.S. citizen. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Isa, you have, Mr. Armando Trevino, does the defense waive formal reading of the indictments?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a B100.
Okay. I'm going to go through all 3 at the same time, Mr. Isaguirre.
Okay.
Count 1, robbery, felony 2. Count 1, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, felony 2. And also a second charge of robbery, felony 2. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yeah.
Has anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No.
And aside from the agreement that you have with the state of Texas, has anybody promised you anything else for pleading guilty today to all 3 counts?
No.
Are you pleading guilty to all 3 counts because you are accepting responsibility for those offenses?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I have in front of me 3 plea packages which appear to have your signature on these. And I asked you that earlier. Did you sign all 3 of them after your attorney explained to you the consequences of signing this agreement?
Yes.
Is the state offering state's exhibits 1 on all counts into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, the state offers state exhibit 1, 2, and 3.
On all 3 counts? All 3 counts have 3 exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor, each case has 3 exhibits.
Any objections, Mr. Trevino?
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor. I'm on mute. They put me on mute and so on. That's why it took me a little bit of time.
State's exhibits 1 through 3 on all 3 cases are admitted into evidence. Okay, Mr. Isaguirre, based on your testimony and the evidence before the court, I'm going to find you guilty of the following offenses: robbery, felony 2, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, felony 2, and the second count of robbery, felony 2. I find that your plea on all 3 counts was made freely and voluntarily. Anything we need to cover before going on to sentencing?
Yes, Judge. Well, we are including some cases under 1245. And this is reflected on each of the plea packets.
I'll cover all of them as we go through each one.
Right, Judge.
So, Mr. Izaguirre, the court is going to
You want to go before? Did you tell them, like, to log on after work done?
Are these running concurrent? Is there a request? Are they running concurrent?
Yes, Judge, it states on the plea packets as well.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Izaguirre, the court is going to approve the agreement that you have with the state of Texas. And your sentence as to the cause number ending in 574D4 is you're to serve six years in a state prison. Also, the court is going to approve the 1245 motion and taking into account the following cases in determining that sentence. The case number 2020 CRB 1235 L1, terroristic threats, a class A misdemeanor. Cause number 2022 CRB 31 L2. Looks like assault, domestic violence.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and as I mentioned, you're going to serve 6 years for that offense. This will run concurrent, which means it'll run at the same time with the other two cases, and you will be given credit for time served. Okay. And let's go ahead and take care of the court costs.
That would be 435, Judge.
Anything else?
That's all in that case.
¿Se recuerda de mí, Miss? Me llamo Deputy Ramírez. Vamos a tener corte para usted el día de hoy.
Okay. The sentence on cause number ending in 1487 D4 is also 6 years to serve in a state prison to run concurrent with the other two cases. The court is also taking into account as part of the sentencing the cases ending in, are they the same case numbers? 2020 CRB 1235 L1 and the other case 2022 31 L2. And also given time credit for time served on this case. I'm going to waive the fees or the court costs in this case. Are there any other fees or costs?
No, Judge.
Okay. And finally, on cause number ending in 479 D4, 6 years to serve in a state prison. Also take it into account as part of the sentencing under 1245, 2020 CRB 1235 L1 and 2020 CRB 31 L2. The 6 years to run concurrent with the other two cases, and the defendant will be given credit for time served. Is there anything I missed, Mr. Trevino?
No, Your Honor. I don't think so.
Any questions, Mr. Izaguirre, about what just
No.
happened?
No.
All right.
Judge, if I may.
Yes.
On the 479 case, as to the court costs, are those also going to be waived?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and waive those,
Thank you, Judge.
but they'll stand on the first one.
Yes.
Your Honor. Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Yes, I would also like to add that at the end, it says that we will be dismissing clause number 2021 CRB 727 L2 as part of this plea agreement.
Oh, okay. I thought that, yeah, I didn't. The court will also. Is that in the plea packages?
Yes, Your Honor, it's down where the state's recommendations is the last thing Mr. Trevino's handwriting is hard to understand.
You can see why I said that, right?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that'll be approved as well. Mr., I don't want to make light of what's happening, Mr. Izaguirre, but good luck and hopefully your time will pass quickly, okay?
Okay.
Good
Your
luck.
Honor, my writing is terrible because I was going to be a doctor.
Yeah. Thank God for small miracles.
Yes. Judge, may I be excused?
I think it would have been a poor doctor, Mr. Trevino. Better that you're a lawyer, I think.
Yes.
Okay. All right, you're excused.
Okay, may God bless and protect all of us, Judge.
Thank you.
Pardon me, Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Sir, we're ready here on the fourth floor. If I might have next, please.
You may have what?
Next.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Idalia Guerra.
What court?
She's in the 49th, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Guerra.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Let me just find your case. Let me call it.
It's on page 7, Judge.
I have it scratched out for some reason.
Yes, Judge. Apparently, I was advised that she doesn't have anybody where to go to be able to make bond, right, Judge? Right, Fred?
Your Honor, what's going on is Ms. Guerra just recently returned from state hospital. And so we're trying to work on a bond with the DAs and the court. But the problem is we're trying to find a place for her to stay. She needs to stay on her meds. And so we don't want her not to be supervised or somebody looking after her. We've contacted her family, and we're still trying to get somebody in her family to make arrangements that she would be able to stay with them. Currently, I think we're close to a probation offer, but the problem again would be for her to be treated with the mental health court. And for that, she needs to be a current patient of MHMR. So we're also working on that as well to trying to get her services through our office. So we just need a little more time. And at this time, we still don't have a place for her to reside if she's released.
Okay. So, I mean, I show a reset date for 7/28. I mean, I'm glad that she's able to hear all of this.
Yeah.
You understand English, Ms. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Yeah, Fred, but do we need more time, Fred? Like back to August 11th?
What we can do is make it August 11th, and if we can get her a place to stay, I'm sure we could work something out with the state for an agreed motion for a bond.
Okay, her last hearing was a motion setting. Do you still want that motion setting, or do you want a final pretrial?
Motion setting would be fine.
Okay, then August 11th at 9:30 for a motion setting. If she
And-
gets out before, then you let us know.
Yes. And do you understand that, Ms. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, that's your attorney, but yes, as soon as we can find a place for you so you can get some help, they'll probably work on getting you out of here, okay? All right, good luck, Mrs. Guerra. You take care of yourself.
Thank you, Your Honor. Excuse me.
All right.
Next, Your Honor, is Javier Rodriguez Maldonado. He will need an interpreter.
What court? Buenas tardes, señor Maldonado. What court is he in?
Out of the 406.
It's on page 8, Your Honor. It's an arraignment. Omar Salinas for Mr. Rodriguez Maldonado.
All right, let me just call the case and then I'll ask for an announcement. The court calls 2022 CRO 268D4, the state of Texas versus Javier Rodriguez Maldonado.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Let me just tell them what you're going to do and then you can proceed. Mr. Juarez, Mr. Rodriguez, you're here for the first time in court after you were indicted. So I'm going to ask your attorney if he has an announcement for you in regards to the charges against you, okay?
Señor Javier Rodríguez Maldonado, la primera vez que usted se presentó en esta corte, se le leyó la lectura formal de la acusación a usted. Ahora le voy a preguntar a su abogado si tiene algo que decir para ahora.
Go ahead, Mr. Salinas.
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Rodriguez Maldonado pleads not guilty. We waive the reading of the indictment and we request our next court dates, Your Honor.
Su abogado dice que el señor Rodríguez se declara no culpable.
No.
No culpable.
No culpable.
Que no se van a leer las lecturas. What do you call
Sí,
it?
no le van a leer la acusación aquí en público.
Next court date is September 7th, Your Honor, at 2 p.m.
Can you inform them of the new setting?
Yes, sir. Su próxima audiencia será el 7 de septiembre a las 2 de la tarde.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, hold on. Did you understand all of that, Mr. Maldonado?
Señor Maldonado, ¿le quedó todo esto claro a usted?
No entendí.
No, I did not understand.
Okay. Your attorney just told me that you are not guilty of the charges against you.
Su abogado me acaba de decir a mí que usted se está declarando no culpable de los delitos por los cuales lo están acusando a usted.
And he wants to go forward with your defense and ask for the next setting.
Y su abogado nos avisó que él quiere seguir adelante con su defensa y por eso le dimos esta nueva fecha para su próxima audiencia. 7 de septiembre a las 2 de la tarde.
Did you understand that, Mr. Maldonado?
Señor Maldonado, ¿le quedó claro?
Sí, pero ¿por qué cargos traigo?
Yes, but what are the charges against me?
Evading arrest with the use of a vehicle. Evitando arresto con el uso de un vehículo.
Usted intentó evadir su arresto usando un vehículo.
No, yo me paré, yo me entregué. Yo me entregué fue como hace 3 años que yo me entregué, que me pararon.
Yeah, but I did turn myself in. I did stop.
I know he was indicted this year, but is this an incident stemming from 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes, Judge Ana Garza for the state. The date of offense is November 12th, 2020.
He was released to immigration, Your Honor.
Oh, he's got an immigration hold?
I believe so, Your Honor. It doesn't show he has a hold, but when the initial arrest, it said he was released to Border Patrol, Your Honor.
Señor Maldonado, ¿tienes papeles para estar en los Estados Unidos?
No.
I mean, if you know, Ms. Garza, was he in custody or for some reason on?
He was in custody for this offense, Judge, but he was booked as a Class A evading.
And then he would, I mean, it sounds like at one point in time he was turned over to immigration or no, and they let him go?
I don't have that information, Judge, if he was
Mr. Salinas,
released to immigration.
Yes, Your Honor, on Odyssey, when he was initially arrested, it says he was released to I believe it's immigration or Border Patrol, Your Honor. On the initial arrest. However, they're not showing a immigration hold currently on his current detainment.
Señor Maldonado, ¿te deportaron y regresaste? Well, look, without knowing the basis of his hold, Mr. Salinas, I mean, I guess you were kind of guessing. I was going to be inclined to put a reasonable bond on him, but without knowing what's going on with immigration, I'd like to do something with it, but
Yes, Your Honor, I can discuss the case with the state, and if there's an agreement on a bond, we can file that, and if not, I could, after speaking with Mr. Rodriguez Maldonado, I can file something with the court, Your Honor, and we can set it up for a hearing, depending on what the offer is, or how he wants to proceed with his defense, Your Honor.
all right. And go ahead and translate this, Mr. Juarez.
Yes.
Mr. Maldonado, you're being held on something that happened back in 2019.
Ok, señor Maldonado, a usted lo están deteniendo. Usted está detenido por algo que ocurrió allá en el año 2019.
I'm going to try later to see if there's something that can be done to release you under the state charges.
Voy a ver qué puedo hacer para que usted lo pueden dejar salir bajo los cargos que usted está enfrentando aquí en el estado.
But I can't do that until I find out what's going on with the federal government.
Pero no puedo hacerlo todavía sin primero saber qué es lo que tiene el gobierno federal para usted. A lo mejor ya tiene una orden de detención, una orden migratoria, no sabemos.
But your attorney has informed me that he's going to do everything possible
Okay.
to put a bond on you, to let you get
Pero
out.
su abogado me acaba de decir que él va a hacer todo lo posible para ver si puedes, para poderlos sacar bajo, ya sea bajo fianza o bajo libertad bajo palabra.
Okay. Buena suerte, señor Maldonado. And we'll see you. When was the date?
Gracias.
Oh, we need a date, don't we?
September 7th, Your Honor, at 2 p.m.
September. Okay, that's what, do we have something maybe in August? A little quicker?
Your Honor, this is for informal. I'm not sure if Mr. Salinas.
I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of,
I mean, the next informal is August 3rd, Your Honor. I don't know if that's enough time for Mr. Salinas to.
yeah, that might be a little quick, but
That should be fine. We could just put it for I think this case should take a little bit of precedence, so since it's
well,
old.
and I'm just thinking that, I mean, 3 years to prepare. So let's do that. And yeah, let's go ahead and leave it for that. That way we get this done sooner rather than later. All right, anything further?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, the case, what was it? August 3rd, at what time?
At 2 p.m., Your Honor.
2 p.m. Let them know, Mr. Juarez. The case, he's going to be back in court to see if something can be done on August 2nd at 2:30 p.m.
August 3rd at 2 p.m., Your Honor.
Sorry.
Okay. Señor, su próxima audiencia será el 3 de agosto a las 2:30 de la tarde. Entonces le informaremos qué pudimos hacer con su caso. Suerte.
Buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the next case will be Veronica Molina. Veronica Molina, Wood County Jail.
Which court?
406, Your Honor, 406.
Court calls 2022 CRM 3864. and 2020 CRH 996D4, the state of Texas versus Veronica Molina.
Omar Salinas for Ms. Molina, Your Honor. She has two more cases on the next page.
The court also calls 2021 CRI 243D4 and 2022 CRD 610D4, the state of Texas versus.
Not yet, sir.
We're here on police status.
Your Honor, Ms. Molina was just found to have regained her competency. She initially was not competent and was waiting for a bed to be taken to a state hospital. We filed a second mental evaluation, which came back just recently and indicated that she is competent, so we can proceed with the cases. I don't believe she's been arraigned on 2022 CRM 386D4 and on 2022 CRD 610D4, Your Honor. So I believe we can do that at this time now that she's regained her competency, Your Honor.
Okay, so good afternoon again, Ms. Molina. On the two charges of possession of a controlled substance, state jail felony, and assault on a public servant, on those charges, I'm going to ask your attorney if he has an announcement for you. Mr. Salinas.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, Ms. Molina pleads not guilty to the indictment. We waive the reading of the indictment, and we request informal court dates for all these cases to run at the same time, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Molina, did you understand that?
She's muted, Judge.
How do we
There you
Yes,
go,
Your,
Judge.
yes, Your Honor. I was gonna ask you if there's any way you can give me a bond or a PR bond on my cases.
I was going to
Um,
address
I
that
would-
in a second. Ms. Molina.
Okay, sorry, yeah. I know that I've been here 360 days, time served, and I wanted to see if, I'm looking forward to my release and, following visits with my doctor at Border Region. So, I wanted to see if we can do that.
Ms. Calderon, is this one of your cases?
I believe Mr. Salinas filed a motion for bond. We did sign orders on that with conditions being that she has to report by, weekly to pretrial services.
To talk to Ramirez at the jail.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, she has to report weekly to pretrial services, go to border regions, random drug testing.
Alma, can you mute yourself, Alma, please, there? Hold on, okay. Have the conditions been relayed to your client, Mr. Salinas?
Yes, Your Honor. They're on the order. It's weekly reporting, random drug testing, for her to continue going to Border Region and for her to continue taking her medication.
And the bond is what?
And the bond, she's only being held on two cases, Your Honor. It's 2020 CRH 996D4. The agreement was a total of 10,000, 5,000 per count. And the second one is 2021 CRI 243D4. That one, it's also 10,000, 9,000 for the second degree and 1,000 for the Class B. And it's through pretrial services, Your Honor. We were going to ask if the court would either allow her to get out and make payments on that 3% fee or waive the fees altogether. I have been in contact with her mother. I do have a contact number for her and an address where she will be staying. And her mother says she will take her into her home and help with all the conditions.
Valerie, are you still there?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
I want to make sure I understand what Mr. Salinas, this is cash bail surety through pretrial services, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, I mean, the waiver of the fees is apart from the bond amount. Is it, Valerie?
If you order the bond fees waived, Judge, there wouldn't be a 3%. However, we could also make arrangements upon our supervisor's approval for the payment of 3%.
For
Yeah,
payments?
yes.
Okay.
And Judge, just for the court's information, she's also being held on charges from the 341st. And those don't have a bond set.
They're not set for today, right? Or are they?
Your Honor, if I may, I believe the cases for the 341st were transferred to the 406. Your Honor, there's also an agreed order on a bond for cause number 2022 CRD 610 D4.
Since she's not being, Your Honor, since she's not being held on that case, I thought she was. I think that's the drug case.
It's assault on a public servant.
I mean, sorry, that's the assault on a public servant. She's already out on PR bond for that one. So we were just going to withdraw that that motion. Or not urge it at this time.
So if I waive the fees, then it'll just expedite her ability to bond out, but she still has to pay the 3% on the bonds.
No, Your Honor, I believe the 3% is the fee.
The 3% is the fee.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if you would waive the fees, then she wouldn't have to pay at all, Judge. She would just be.
Your Honor, real quick.
In essence, what you're asking for is a PR bond.
Well, sorry, Marco, go ahead.
On the 406, Your Honor, the judge does allow for defendants to be released immediately and then for them to begin a payment plan with the 3%. That's what Judge Hill.
And I did speak to her mother and she said that she would be able to make payments on it, Your Honor, on the fee.
Okay, and then that's, I'll approve that. Well, I'm not waiving the fee, but I'm allowing her to make payments on the fee.
That is correct.
Okay.
Your Honor, on another note, Your Honor, since Ms. Molina was being held, waiting a bed for San Antonio State Hospital, the hospital is requiring an order to be drafted, I guess acknowledging that she has regained competency and that she no longer needs to be transported. And we need that signed, I guess, submitted and signed so we can submit it to the hospital so they can make room for other patients that do need the help.
Who does that, the defense or the prosecution?
They didn't tell me, Your Honor. They just need an order.
Well, I would say it's the prosecution, Your Honor, since they're the ones that want to put them over there. But I'm sure I can get with the state and we can come up with something together, Your Honor.
We could get Armando Trevino to handwrite one for us. So, all right, well, I mean, get it done.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll get right on that.
Okay.
Mr. Salinas, I'm sorry. So you said weekly reporting, random drug testing, and what were the other conditions you mentioned?
To stay on her medications and to be reporting to a border region upon being released and to continue her services there.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Molina, did you understand all of that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, so
I report to border region. I think it's a good plan. Thank you.
Okay, and it's important that you keep to that plan, okay? So, because we're gonna, we've made the adjustments on your bond so you can get out sooner rather than later. It may not be today because they need to contact your family, so you need to be a little bit patient, but you should be out, I think, by the end of the weekend, okay?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Okay, good luck, Ms. Molina, and take care of yourself.
All cases will
Thank
be
you, Judge.
informal on August 3rd at 2 p.m., Your Honor.
August 3rd, 2 p.m. Okay, stay in contact with Mr. Salinas.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right,
That's all for me, Your Honor. May be excused.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas.
Next, we have Linda Rodriguez, Your Honor, out of the 49th docket.
H2, Judge.
How's everyone doing? Everyone okay to keep going so we can knock this out? Take that as a yes.
Yes, Judge, this is
Yes,
my
sir.
last case, so let's go.
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor, the 341st is missing two cases.
I thought he had bribed somebody, Raquel, because the 341st was getting done pretty quick there for a while.
But I beat her.
All right, let's get to it. The court calls 2020 CRK 492D1, the state of Texas versus Linda Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mario Castillo for Mrs. Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, Mr. Castillo. Mr. Castillo, your father's Mario Castillo,
Yes, Your Honor.
your son.
Yes, yes,
I
sir.
heard- I heard you got a license, not recently, but not that long ago. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so Ms. Rodriguez, are you here? Do you understand English? Ms.
Señora
Rodriguez,
Rodríguez, ¿me puede escuchar? ¿Habla usted inglés? No,
A veces.
very little.
buenas tardes, señora Rodriguez. Mr. Castillo, we're here on a status for an MTR. What are we doing with this case?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm gonna ask for a 30-day reset because I should have been appointed recently, or I will be appointed soon to Ms. Rodriguez's other cases. She has 4 cases out of County Court 1. So I'm trying to wrap up everything before we deal with this case.
Any objections from the state on that?
There's no objection, Judge.
And Joe, are you gonna be the DA on this case?
Yes, I'll take it over.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so what do we have, Alma, for Mr. Castillo?
Mr. Garcia, how much time do you need?
30 days.
30 days.
August 11th at 9:30.
Was this the last case for the 49th then, Alma?
Yes, Judge.
So anyone that's tied in with the 49th is excused.
Your Honor, did we hear Sergio Gonzalez? I mean
He
Garcia?
he was released, Fred.
Okay. And
Your Honor, that's all I have. Maybe excused.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Castillo.
Thank you, Judge.
Señora Rodríguez, su abogado nos is she still there? Okay. Su abogado nos acaba de solicitar un aplazamiento de 30 días porque verá, usted todavía tiene otras acusaciones pendientes y su abogado está tratando de consolidarlos o quitarlos del camino antes de tomar su siguiente caso. Su próxima audiencia será el 11 de agosto a las 9:30 de la mañana. Okay.
Buena suerte, señora.
Your Honor, the next case and final case will be for Stefania Flores out of the 341st.
Your Honor, I'm here. I represent her.
It's fine because I have one over here and then this one's a lesson.
Wait, what was the name again?
Estefania Flores.
Page 14, Judge. The add-on.
Oh. The court calls 2021 CRD 1381D3, the state of Texas versus Estefania Flores.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Hear people talking in the background.
Yeah, I know. Where's that coming from?
From the tunnel, Judge, I believe, where Mrs. Stefania Flores is at.
Oh, sorry about that, Mr. Sosa. We've been dealing with
No,
that.
I thought she was in front of you.
Thought what?
They haven't brought her down here?
Yes, she's present, Your Honor.
She's present, Mr. Sosa.
Can I proceed?
Yes. Well, let me call the case. Court calls 2021 CRD 1381 D3, State of Texas versus Estefania Flores. Buenas tardes, señora.
Buenas tardes, señor juez.
Your Honor, I've been in contact with the public, I was going to say the U.S. Attorney's Office, but with the prosecutor's office, you and I were working on a deal, and hopefully we can have it done quickly. I don't know if the court can indulge me in an oral motion to get her out of there.
Mr. Rodriguez, are you the attorney on this, or is it Mr. Talbot?
I'm sorry, Judge, what defendant is this? I'm sorry.
Estefania Flores.
Judge, if I may, she's in there for other charges, not in this case.
Oh, okay. Did you hear that, Mr. Sosa?
Yes, Your Honor. Whatever the court wants to do, if she hasn't been appointed anybody, the court wishes to appoint me, that'll be fine, Your Honor.
In what court are the other charges? Are they in district court or are they in county court?
Your Honor, if I may, this is Ms. Contreras. They are new charges. And Mr. Sosa has been appointed. They're at the MAC level.
Okay.
Okay.
What are the cases? I mean, just the level. Are they state jail?
Your Honor, possession controlled substance felony 2, possession marijuana class B misdemeanor.
So how much time do you want, Mr. Sosa?
I would need about 30 days, Your Honor.
What do we have, 30 days? Let's see. Well, it's August 24th.
That's fine, Your Honor.
At 1:30 p.m.
Yes. And this will be on the 24th.
At 1:30 p.m.
Yes, sir. That's all I have. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Hold on, let's just make sure she understands what's happening.
Yes. Señora Estefanía Flores, su abogado será el señor Sosa y usted tiene dos acusaciones pendientes, una por posesión de sustancia controlada y otra por posesión de marihuana. Su abogado solicitó 30 días más para poderse preparar. Su próxima audiencia sería el 24 de agosto a la 1:30 de la tarde.
No me dan permiso para hablar con el juez.
May I have permission to talk to the judge?
Yes.
Adelante.
Sir, por estos cargos nuevos que tengo, ya tengo aquí 4 meses y 137 días y ni siquiera he tenido un ban reduction ni nada. Sí tengo ban, pero no ha tenido ningún ban reduction ni nada. Y pues quisiera si me puede ayudar en algo.
Well, you see, because of these new charges, I've been here for 4 months, over 137 days, and I haven't had any bond reduction or anything. And I was wondering if you could do something for me.
Which are the bonds she's being held on right now, and what are the amounts?
It's 20,000 on the felony 2.
Wait, hold on. Let's mute the jail so that I can hear what's going on here. All right, go ahead.
Okay, 20,000 on the felony 2 and 500 on the misdemeanor charge, cash flow surety, Judge.
And has she made bond on this one, on the aggravated assault?
Yes, on this one, she was released through pretrial services.
Ms. Calderon, is this your case?
Your Honor, I'm standing in for Mr. Davila. He's away. But at this time, Your Honor, we are going to object to any bond, considering the charges in this case. Well, she's already in reduction to a bond, since she already has a bond here.
Well, she's made the bond on is it the 20,000? I mean, the two new those are new charges, right? That she has coming.
Yes, Judge.
And just so I'll know, are they from, the incident is from what year?
The incident for the case that we're on right now, Your Honor?
No, the new charges.
It just says she got booked on 3/9/2022, Judge.
Yes, Judge, those are the charges that are being held, holding her, are those, and they haven't been indicted yet.
Well,
Sir, excuse
hold
me,
on.
sorry, sir.
So the 90 days have passed for sure on the 30 or 15 days for the Class B misdemeanor.
Right.
And we're past the 90 days on the felony.
Right, but that's up to the defense attorney, Your Honor.
Well, I realize that, but
If I'm like in a past life, I'll punch out their real. Fucking forget shit. You get me?
I mean, we're talking about the court being made just by my inquiry that 17-151 should have been in play in this case.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who's here from pretrial services?
Your Honor, this is Ms. Contreras, Your Honor.
Ms. Contreras, and I'm assuming she was required to report to you all on the bond pretrial services.
I showed the case is still active. We have not bond lifted her. It's still active.
But my question is that was she complying up until the point that she got arrested?
Let me verify, Your Honor.
Wait. And I'm losing track of the dates here because it's been a long day.
And Your Honor, my speaker goes on and off, on and off, so I'm only half hearing what you all are saying, but that's fine, Your Honor.
Wait, hold on a second, Mr. Sosa, don't shoot yourself in the foot here.
Your Honor, she was complying. Her last reporting date was March 10th, but it is because of her arrest.
Look, I understand your objections and the court kind of stepping in, but
Well, Your Honor, I was objecting to any bond on the present case that we're here today. We're not here for those two cases.
that's true. That is
Right,
true.
and there's no motion filed by the defendant. That's what I'm saying. That's up to the defense attorney. You know, a defense attorney would see that, immediately file a writ.
Mr. Sosa, you know, we take these type of 17-151 motions every Wednesday. So you have 7 days in order, or really to the end of the week to file so that it can be taken next week.
And I can do that. I'll file it tomorrow.
And that'll give pretrial services also to provide us the necessary criminal history.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to tentatively tell your client that we're anticipating being back here on her case. Well, informally dealing with her case next week.
That's it.
And yeah, sorry to jump the gun there, Ms. Calderon, but it really has been a long day, and I'm just trying to smooth out the process here.
I
Okay,
understand, Judge, no worries.
and then, the judge whose court it's going to end up in may have different ideas, and that'll give everyone a chance to chime in. Okay, Mr. Juarez, please interpret the following.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Flores,
Señorita Flores,
I was having a conversation with the district attorney's office and your attorney.
acabo de hablar con la oficina del fiscal y también con su abogado.
There is a possibility that in 7 days
Go ahead.
that we're going to take up your case in 7 days to see if we can let you out on a more reasonable bond since you're unable to make this bond.
Existe la posibilidad de que en 7 días volvamos a retomar su caso para ver si podamos darle una libertad condicional o una fianza más razonable, puesto que usted no pudo cumplir con esta otra.
One of the things that was discussed is that you have not been indicted and more than 90 days have passed.
Y una de las cosas que salió a relucir es que a usted no la han acusado formalmente en más de 90 días que usted tiene ahí encerrada.
That is one of the factors the court is going to take into account whether we can release you on a PR bond.
Esa es una de las cosas que la corte va a tomar en cuenta a la hora de decidir si la dejamos salir en libertad.
Sí. Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yeah, just make sure you get with pretrial services on what is required to get that case on the docket for Wednesday.
Yes, I will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Buena suerte, señora Flores.
That'll be all for us, Your Honor.
At the jail?
Yes, sir.
No more defendants? Is that?
No more. That's it. We're done for the day, sir. Thank
Your
you.
Honor, I'm sorry, Your Honor, if I may, if I can recall just one case on page 10 of the 341st docket, there was some confusion
All right, hold on.
that I'd like to clear up. It's on defendant Daniel Jose Escobedo.
Not sure if the jail can bring him out again, Your Honor.
Well, yeah, that's true. And look, this is what I understood, Mr. Nieto,
You want to shut it down? I'm gonna take her.
that the motions to revoke were going to be withdrawn and the sanction of 90 days was going to be imposed on the case ending 11/7/93.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. That is the agreement. That's just the clarification.
Okay, so
As long as that's reflected in the record, Your Honor, that's what we wanted to make sure.
that's what I wrote down. And initially it was 180 days, but as Mr. Thompson pointed out, because it was a state jail felony, the maximum sanction was 90 days. And my understanding, if I'm recollecting correctly, the defendant had served 120, so.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's my understanding, so, okay.
Yes, Your Honor, just that clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
I believe that when I asked about the motion to revoke being withdrawn, Mr. Paul Thompson said that he was going to be serving the time on 11/65. But originally he had said on 11/79. I think that was.
Yes, so 11/79 is actually the one where the sanction will be applied to in 90 days.
Yes.
Whatever the record said. So.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Thank
you, Judge.
All right, anybody else?
If
All
I
right.
may, Your Honor, I have a question on that case also.
Okay. Oh, no, it's all
Sorry.
right.
Is there a zero tolerance on both cases or just on the 11/79?
No, I understood zero tolerance on both cases.
On both. Okay. Thank you.
Easy questions now, Judge, right?
And, you know, there's like over 100 cases here and I'm supposed to remember what I did on all of them.
Sorry, Judge. You have a good day.
Thanks, everyone. We'll miss you in Nashville.
Thank you,
Yes,
Your Honor.
have fun. Have fun.
Is Ms. Vargas still present? Who's your, oh, Mr. Nieto, do you have a direct extension for Ms. Vargas?
Yes, Your Honor, 5238.
5238. I had a quick question for her. Nothing earth shattering, so don't, if she's not there, don't worry about it. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
Go
you,
on.
everyone at the jail. Mr. Juarez, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
What, quick question, when you said, did I hear that correctly? Un abogado por vida, is that what you said?
No. Consejería legal, which is legal counsel.
Okay, and the audio was terrible today, so I was like, an attorney for life, and I thought,
No.
okay, I'm sorry. Thank you again, Mr. Juarez.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks, everyone. Everyone's excused.